A very good morning, all of you. All the delegates, speakers, authors, presenters, the representatives of the esteemed industrial organizations from India as well as across the world, the members from the engineering fraternity, the die casting fraternity, and the allied industries, the academicians, students, ladies and gentlemen. This is Kirti Ramdasi, Secretary, Aluminium Casters Association of India, extending a very warm welcome to all of you to ALUCAST 2021 Virtual Conference and Exhibition. The ALUCAST annual event is an event that each one of us from the die casting fraternity and the allied industry looks up to every year, because this is the event wherein we all get an opportunity to connect with each other, understand what is happening in the industry and how we can all together move forward towards sustainable growth and development. Ladies and gentlemen, a very warm welcome to all of you from Mr. Prasanna Firodia, President, Aluminium Casters Association of India, the esteemed Board of Trustees, ALUCAST, our event partners, Iventos and Conferas Infotech, my team at ALUCAST Secretariat, as well as our team at our zonal centers, Delhi, Pune, Bangalore, and Chennai, as well as our sponsors for the event, our platinum sponsors, Jai Hind Industries Private Limited, VJ Technologies Private Limited, our diamond sponsors, Rockman Industries, Hitachi Metals India, and Vishwakarma University, our gold sponsors, Bueller India, Fonderex Switzerland, Sundaram Clayton, Metals Planet, our delegate kit sponsors, the Raga Group, Ditech, Equic, Gorgeous Tooling, and Koida. From all of us and the ALUCAST family, we extend a very warm welcome to all the representatives, all the delegates, speakers, authors, presenters to ALUCAST 2021. We are highly honored to have our esteemed member of Board of Trustees of ALUCAST, Mr. Munjar, who would inaugurate today's event. It is a great honor for me to extend a warm welcome to Mr. Munjar to ALUCAST 2021, and I take this opportunity to introduce Mr. Munjar to all of you, though he does not require any formal introduction because he is a brand name in itself, and his industry, his organization is a brand name itself in the market as well as in the die casting fraternity. Mr. Ujjwal Munjar is the Managing Director at Rockman Industries and Hero Electronics, the firm he founded in 2015. He has been leading both the companies very steadfastly through the pandemic and has successfully put them back on the path of rapid growth in these challenging times. A graduate in international management from Pepperdine University, California, he started his professional career on the shop floors of Hero Motors Corporation, followed by KPMG Consulting to get an outside view of the business. He joined Rockman Industries in 2003 and has worked in all the functions of the firm in all these years. In 2018, he took over as the Managing Director of Rockman Industries and has been a pivotal in the phenomenal revenue growth of Rockman Industries to more than 2,200 crores today, and the scope of the plant of the organization has expanded from 1 plant to the 7 plants now. Under his able leadership, Rockman has ventured into the carbon composite technology since January 2017, and now it is known as Rockman Advanced Composites, and has diversified business in the space and defense segments apart from the motor and luxury car segments. One of his dream projects is the Hero Electronics, and the Hero Electronics is showing its strong presence in the end-to-end semiconductor services and the embedded design through its subsidiary Tezol. Both Tezol and the another subsidiary Cubo is making its presence feel very strongly on the global platform with its entry into the Middle East. Mr. Munjar, we are extremely happy to have you today with us And without taking much of the time of all the people who are present in the auditorium today for ALUCAST 2021, may I extend a very warm welcome to you to present your inaugural address. And I would also request you to formally release the ALUCAST technical publications so that it becomes available to everyone for access and reference. Over to you, Mr. Munjar.
Thank you very much for that introduction, Kirti. Very good morning to all delegates, speakers, authors, presenters, engineers, academics, and students from the die casting and engineering fraternity. It's my absolute pleasure to welcome all of you here on behalf of the Aluminium Casters Association. The ALUCAST conference and exhibition has become the flagship platform for the aluminium casting industry and allied sectors. Over the last few years, this conference has become widely respected and recognized for bringing together the best and the brightest minds, along with technology and equipment suppliers from India and around the globe. I'm very glad to see the theme of this year's conference, which is current trends in die casting. We could not have chosen a better theme at this moment in time, given the world environment we live in, with the pandemic and the impending shift in mobility from IC to EVs. The world economy has been going through unprecedented challenging times since the last 2 years, largely due to the disruptions caused by COVID-19. The challenges are further exacerbated for the manufacturing sector and casters around the world. Safety of the workforce in the work environment has become paramount, leading to enforcement of very difficult but much necessary protocols in curtailing personal interaction, at the same time being able to fulfill customer requirements. An example being this very meeting being conducted virtually. While we have learned to live with Zoom, Skype, Google Meets, we have learned to transact business but have started to lose human touch. These issues are even more difficult, as I said earlier, for manufacturing companies who must meet customer expectations, at the same time be able to manage the dynamic work environment. The world around us is evolving very rapidly, and the onset of the pandemic has further accelerated some of these technology shifts. The penetration of connectivity and digitization in our factories is leading to a revolution popularly called Industry 4.0. This will, in the very near future, have a very significant impact on all manufacturing, including die casting. In my personal view, this is going to become one of the key success factors for any company in the next few years. While investments in Industry 4.0 today may seem a secondary priority, but these investments will make our factories data real-time and transparent. And this will have a direct impact on our cost of production, our quality, and our delivery. Within the die casting industry itself, casting technology has progressed significantly with regards to alloys, production processes, tools, and application possibilities in the last few years. It is very important that we as the Indian die casting industry keep pace with these fast-moving developments to ensure not only do we remain cost competitive, but also on the technology front in the global arena. ALUCAST 2021 virtual conference will focus on these challenges being faced by the die casting industry and deliberate on methods to tackle these issues and revive the die casting industry post-pandemic and pave the way for growth. The ALUCAST 2021 virtual exhibition is being organized to provide die casters, manufacturers, suppliers from the allied industries a platform to showcase their products and services. And most importantly, to facilitate thought leaders and technology providers an opportunity to share trends, developments, and best practices. I am confident this event will bring tremendous value to all delegates and visitors, at the same time giving visibility and exposure to our exhibitors, and sponsorers. With that, I'm delighted to declare the ALUCAST 2021 as inaugurated. I'm also happy to declare the ALUCAST 2021 technical volume, the ALUCAST Technical Journal December 2021 issue, the ALUCAST Technical Reference Handbook, and the ALUCAST Aluminium Casting Industry Directory as released and available for all to access. Thank you. Wish you all the very best and a successful conference. Over to you, Kirti.
Yeah, thank you so much, Mr. Munjan, for the wonderful enlightenment and the wonderful motivation that you have given to all of us. Thank you so much for being present for this occasion. It means a lot for us. Thank you so much. Friends, it is indeed an honor.
Got it. Todos.
And a pleasure that we have with us Mr. Vivek Joshi, President and CEO Sundaram Clayton, as the keynote speaker for our conference. I extend a very, very warm welcome to Mr. Vivek Joshi to ALUCAST 2021 on behalf of all of you present here. And I'm very happy to introduce Mr. Vivek Joshi to all of you. Vivek Joshi is also a very well-known and a reputed name in the field of die casting and engineering, not only in India, but also outside India. An engineering graduate in metallurgy from the reputed engineering institution, College of Engineering, Pune. Vivek has done his master's in industrial and systems engineering from the Ohio State University, Columbus, Ohio, USA, and a master's in business administration from Indiana Tech University, USA. Vivek is also a Six Sigma Black Belt professional from North Carolina State University. Over the last 24 years of rich global experience in the areas like plant operations, quality, engineering, systems, metallurgy, he has worked with several companies such as Greaves, Perfect Alloy Components, Ryobi Die Casting USA, Giant Industries, and Endurance Technologies. During his tenure, he has worked on key management positions and has led the organization and his functional pillar successfully in different areas like, as I mentioned, plant operations, engineering, quality systems, metallurgy, setting up and standardizing processes and systems, meeting global standards, and building a very, very strong connect with the people in the organization, the vendors and the customers and the OEMs of repute, such as, to mention a few, Ford, General Motors, Toyota, Hyundai, Nissan, Allison, Renault, Maruti Suzuki, Cummins, Mahindra, Daimler, Bosch, etc. to meet customer-specific requirements. Vivek is equipped with a very strong experience in operations and quality systems for high-pressure die casting, gravity die casting, machining, assembly, and auto components. He is a well-trained practitioner in implementing the Japanese process systems and the advanced problem-solving tools, including the DOEs. Currently, he is working as the president and CEO of Sundaram Clayton and successfully leading the organization, making a mark on the global scenario. During the last 3 years at Sundaram Clayton, the team led by Vivek under the guidance of Dr. Lakshmi Venu and Mr. Venu Srinivasan has achieved a remarkable turnaround of business in terms of profitability, quality, and on-time delivery performance. Under the able leadership of Vivek, Sundaram Clayton is planning on expanding their operations in India as well as outside India in the coming years to produce complex powertrain components and design and development of new generation structural parts. It is indeed a great honor, Mr. Vivek, to have you as the keynote speaker for ALUCAST 2021 virtual conference. Once again, I extend a very, very warm welcome to you on behalf of ALUCAST, as well as the entire die casting and the engineering fraternity and its representatives that are with us today in our conference. A very warm welcome to you, and I request you to present your keynote address now. Over to you, Mr. Vivek.
I will just share the screen and then start.
Yes, I'll stop sharing my screen.
Yeah.
I hope now my screen is not visible.
Is my screen visible now?
We are able to see you, but we are not able to see your screen.
Tech team, can you help please? I'm getting error message. So I go to the basic screen sharing, right? It's getting open system preferences, security and privacy access to client.
Martin, have you given this screen share authority to Mr. Vivek?
Is it?
Okay.
Okay, let me try.
Click on share screen.
Yeah, I'm on share screen. I'm getting basic, whiteboard, Airflow, Microsoft.
Can you see the rectangle showing screen, the word written screen?
Yeah.
And then you can say share screen.
Yeah. Once I say share, I'm getting open system preferences.
Mr. Martin, can you please guide him?
Yeah, PPT is open. No, I'm not seeing. It says unknown PowerPoint. Then shift to select multiple screens. When I say share, it gives me open system preferences. When I open, the PowerPoint is disabled. I'm getting somebody from. Let's see now. I can go to edit. Trying to share the screen in Zoom. So Zoom, share screen, PowerPoint. Desktop, and if I say share, it gives open system preferences. Now I think it should be good. Now let me try. I'll try this, or I'm trying something else. It's just the problem is it is asking me to restart, so I don't want to do that. I'll try one more time. Now I think I can. I hope you can see the screen now.
Yes, sir, it is visible. Just put it
Yeah,
in the
we can,
presentation
we
mode.
can see the screen now.
Sorry about that.
So it's okay. Over to you now.
Thank you. Yeah. Respected Ujjwal Munjar sir, Ms. Kirti, and respected delegates, friends from the fellow diecasting fraternity, my colleagues on this e-dais, I would like to start this session by giving you some insights into the today's diecasting world. As Mr. Munjal has correctly said, there cannot be an apt time to select this theme of current trends in diecasting. I hope I'm visible on the slideshow mode because I can see here the slideshow. I'll start with the Sundaram Clayton. It's a part of TVS group of companies, as you all know. The group was established in 1911 with revenues of $8.5 billion, and the group is working across multiple sectors. Sundaram Clayton and TVS is known for quality, practicing TQM, TPM, lean manufacturing, and the TVS group in general about their TQM practices, winner of Japan Quality Medal, 5 Deming Prizes, and 9 TPM Award. Tech team, am I visible on the slideshow? So let me share and reshare. I'm seeing here. I'm going to unshare and new share. I'll try. You can go on think about it. I hope it changes. It has a lag. I think hopefully now it will be okay. All right. Thank you. So the group is led by Dr. Venu Srinivasan, and Sundaram Clayton is led by my boss, Dr. Lakshmi Venu. I would like to take this moment and pay tribute to my guide and mentor, Shri C. Narasimhan, who was the past president of Sundaram Clayton, a personal coach to me for several years, even before I joined Sundaram Clayton, and throughout my initial journey at Sundaram Clayton. Unfortunately, we lost CN, what we called him fondly, in January of this year. He had ingrained TQM, TPM, and lean as a culture in our organization, not just in Sundaram Clayton or TVS Group, but he was pioneer in the field of advanced manufacturing all over India and across the globe. I would also like to begin this keynote with the statue of oldest casting. So what my start is, there will be trends, there will be ups and downs. The industry will go through multiple challenges, but let us not forget what India is in the field of casting. My dear friends, this idol is 1,000+ years old, made out of solid bronze and made by casting process. Beautiful from top to bottom, 300+ kg. And you can see the India's technology, even in those ancient times. So there is no way that any pandemics or the new trends like electrification will put a jolt to India's journey in the technology of castings. I will begin now my address with the latest trends in die casting, and I will sequentially take you through product design, die casting process, quality, sustainability, new product development, and finally, and most important, is people in die casting. So as we all know, the outlook is clear. The world is moving fast towards e-mobility. Powertrain components in the future are going to reduce, and we will be moving towards chassis, structural, and e-mobility components. In the trends in the product design, we all need to be prepared, and I'm sure many of you are already doing multi-material castings, pipe inserts, specialty inserts, even metal matrix composites in the castings can be the trend in the future. Lightweighting, it's no more a buzzword, it is the reality. Complex sizes, shapes, thin wall castings, and most importantly, conversion from iron to aluminum and conversion from thick wall gravity die castings, permanent mold castings, to thin wall HPDC castings is going to be the trend. Lightweighting of products will also include thin wall structural parts, chassis components, and very importantly, the heat treatable castings. Heat treatable high pressure die castings will require special processes by which one has to get rid of as much porosity as possible, as many shrinkage defects as possible, so that there are no blisters after heat treatment, and especially we have to take care of the distortion. So T5 and T6 heat treatment, that will give anywhere from 15 to 25% improvement in tensile strength and anywhere up to 8 times improvement in the elongation, are the castings of the future. In product designs, high strength, high ductile castings with yield strengths more than 300 megapascals, tensile strengths more than 420 megapascal, elongation of 10% or more. These are the safety critical components of the future. When I'm saying future, I'm talking about Indian die casters not able to yet cater to the large scale industry. However, when you go to US, Europe or Japan, these castings are already in operations. There is an increasing trend on the research on the new alloys, such as micro-alloying elements like titanium, vanadium in aluminum alloys to improve the strength and ductility of the alloys. This is going to be an important milestone and challenge to the world. I request the metallurgical fraternity of die casting to ensure that these alloys are developed on wide scale in Indian labs and on our shop floors, and we can do a lot of testing and provide insights to the world on this exciting field of new metals in die casting. Another trend where we will not be able to reduce the thickness and mass in castings, at that time, there could be a possibility of using semi-solid castings, liquid forgings to avoid shrinkage porosity in the thick walls. There are many commercially available processes for metal castings, and these are going to be the pioneer in stronger, lightweight, high wall thickness structural parts where the thickness is of paramount interest. In terms of die design, now coming out of product design and technology, let us focus on die design and manufacturing. The first and foremost is we all must learn and work on the advancement in simulations. Short sleeve simulations, using design of experiments during simulations, ensuring stress analysis on the components during simulations, making sure we have customized defect prediction analysis and crack prediction analysis, not only in the part as well as in the dies. Prediction of mechanical properties, yield strength, tensile strength, even secondary dendrite arm spacings. All these technologies and predictions are now possible with the advent of new simulation techniques. What I observe in the industry is simulations are looked at flow and solidification and multiple colors, this side gate or that side gate. But there is a lot more to offer and extract out of these design softwares that can give us key insights on where these castings are going to fail and how do we strengthen those areas and give beautiful structurally sound castings to our customers. In the field of die design and manufacturing, I would also like to give the importance of various surface treatments and coatings to reduce erosion and wear for the die casting components, replaceable die inserts to extend die life, die temperature control to reduce thermal shocks, and special processes like spark deposition to ensure that die surfaces are protected, because thin wall structural type castings will not be able to sustain or they will not allow any kind of heat check marks because of the special surface treatment requirements on the parts themselves. So we have to make sure that we use all the methods and technologies possible in die steel selection, in heat treatment of the die steel and surface treatment of the die steels to ensure that we are making sure there are no thermal fatigue cracks or initiation of thermal fatigue crack is prolonged as much as possible. in terms of, I'm sorry, thermal management of the dies, internal coolings is going to play a vital role, and I'm going to come to that in the process. However, the conformal cooling or 3D inserts with complex cooling lines. Previously, we had no choice but to go for in and out for a cooling line. With the invent of 3D printing, we must ensure that all the key thick areas of the dies receive proper cooling, and that is a controlled cooling, not just a cold water going in, hot water coming out. Controlled temperature, closed loop cooling systems are essential in today's die castings. We cannot talk enough on the importance of vacuum in the thin wall castings. If we have to heat treat these parts, we must ensure that the vacuums are properly and extensively used. And when I say properly used, I mean the vacuum values in the ranges of 30, 50 millibars, or in some cases even lower. We are applying vacuum on one side and dies flashing on the other side. This is a disaster because we are making that vacuum system to suck the air out of the flash zones. So whenever we are ensuring we are using vacuum, the die should be tightly sealed. There should be proper thermal management, the spotting of the die, injection alignment, platen parallelism. All these hygiene factors have to be taken into consideration while designing the dies and selecting the proper machine for using the vacuum die castings. Not only that, the traditional cast iron plungers, which give up in 1,000 to 3,000 shots, maybe 5,000, we have to move on and we have to go for special ring type tight seal plunger systems with proper injection alignments and thermal managements in the short sleeve so that we can achieve the vacuum values below 50 millibars easily. This will be the key for the hygiene of the process in die casting. And this is how product design, die design, and the processes are supposed to be married in die casting. Closed loop controls on the parameters on the cooling is essential in the die casting process. The feedback mechanism and on-time, online corrections of these parameters is of essence. The process automations so that there is a minimum handling and maximum auto tuning of the process is preferred in the die castings of the future. We will be bringing in, along with the die casting machines, so many bells and whistles, so to speak. The squeeze pins, the vacuum, the jet cooling, the thermal management, special clean alloys. We have to ensure they all work in tandem and automation is supported so that we don't have frequent breakdowns and stoppages while we are trying to make good castings, because that is going to be the key to ensure, again, the structurally perfect castings. One of the most important trends that are going to happen in the field of die casting, and that already started, is digitalization. Digitalization of not only the documents, the digitalization of the entire process in the closed loop system. Here is an example. Sundaram Clayton recently signed up with one of our partners for a complete digital factory and automation. So the different factories of ours will be connected by edge architectures to ensure that we have a complete database and data lake of all our process parameters and dashboards across the factories. A typical example of die casting cell, there is jet cooling line, pump coolings, vacuum machine, the Bueller controllers in this case, auto spraying system, dosing furnaces, FANUC systems, all are connected through this Datonis Edge, and they are going through an Edge software and coming into manufacturing intelligence platform, wherein we can analyze the parameters online and take corrections. The next step is the predicting the future of these parameters and trends and auto correcting them as we process them. So this is, my friends, is going to be the key in all future realistic die casting that will be applicable in the electrical vehicles or e-connect vehicles. One point I would like to bring to the attention, it is not just enough to have a strong product design, a process, a die design that marries the product design, a process that marries the die design, and connected factory that will take control of all the parameters of the future. It is important that we drastically improve the throughput time in our factories in die casting world. How can we make the castings that can go from melt to a finished good product in hours, not days? This is a typical spaghetti diagram in a die casting factory where it can take up to 2 to 11 days for that casting to be completely finished and ready at the customer end. While I am on this, I would like to cite the example of pioneers in lean manufacturing in India, not just TVS Group, the other side, the Hero Group. The way they have arranged the factories, and from the molten metal to the finished products and into the vehicle, they probably could be our benchmark in ensuring how fast these processes can take place and happen. This is an example of value added ratio, wherein a manual fettling going offline, we are taking all runners and risers outside, we are cutting them, they are going in opposite direction, coming back to the melt shop. All that excess material movement can be eliminated by the methods like ECRS, and make sure that our value added ratios go from say 0.4 to at least 5. In a first step, you can take to 2.5, 3, 4, but how we take it to the 5 and 6 levels is going to be the key. And you know how the leanest companies of the world, such as Toyota, are operating at. So this is a big challenge to the die casting industry and die casters of the world. Creating digital twins of the factories, making sure that all our cells are 3D mapped and they are on the global footprint, by making sure that we have a complete automated flow and a minimum flow, total lean of our factories. Casting quality, I think today is given. We are expected to maintain the ppm below 50, and we all talk about zero defect mindset. In future, the most important aspect will be the dimensions. In transmissions and engine components, you can have the true positions of the holes as one of the key parameters. But for the structural parts, making sure there is minimum distortion, no distortion, and 100% in some cases, inspection of the dimensions online could be the key for the future castings. Online X-ray inspection, making sure these castings do not go to heat treatment, is another area where auto defect recognition, ADR type of systems are widely used. CT scanning to ensure that we do a detailed analysis of all the defects during new product development and tie them back into our processes, and predictive maintenance of the machines and dies is going to be the key. New product development, extensive usage of simulations, 3D printing, concurrent engineering, co-development, sand and investment casting, making sure failure modes are taken care of even before they are produced in design stage, and guidelines to continuously update and upgrade our systems will be the keys. Now I come to the most important aspect of all this when it ties up. This is, I learned from Kincentric recently, the employee experience when we are working on the all these advanced processes and techniques. The fundamentals are given, the basic work culture, how we treat people, how we encourage them, how they collaborate. But the future of the entire system will be agility of the workforce, which includes collaboration, having a strong customer connect and customer focus, empowered decision-making abilities, diversity and inclusions, and infrastructure that enables all these parameters into the human being. Engaging leadership, it is utmost important that we as leaders of this die casting field are encouraging the young generation to come and join us. Die casting is no more the hot and old rusty work environment. We have to convince them that we have to provide them the work environment and infrastructure that will attract the young talent towards us. The talent focus, developing our brands, providing career and development, ensuring a strong performance management, providing rewards and recognition, and providing talent for staffing. All these are going to be the key challenges for the future of die casting. I would also like to point out role-based competency development. So we should have a very, very good focus on die maintenance, die design, tool manufacturing. We can collaborate, like my research papers when I was at Ohio State was on soldering and thermal fatigue in die casting, developing different coatings. Now imagine 25 years ago, we were working closely from university into the die casting industry. How we can collaborate industry and academic partnership, how we can encourage that. I'm glad that IITs like Chennai, Hyderabad, Aachen University in Germany, Ohio State in US, they all have collaborations with the die casting industry and professionals to set up national level research institute. And the Hero Group is another, again, pioneer, or IQL of TVS Motors. These are some of the good examples, or Mahindra Institute of Quality, where they are collaborating with various academics and industries to ensure the future leadership and future talent is generated and research is propagated. IIFM, IIT, they are setting up research institute on focusing on foundry technology. So these are some of the things we should encourage the academia to come up and help us with. We all know the new die casting world is going from no more a 3,000 ton machine is a larger tonnage machine. 4,000, 6,000, 8,000 tons machines are coming up, and hygiene of whatever I mentioned till now is going to be the key to work on these giga machines or giga presses, so to speak. The automobile chassis components, which were sheet metal, are going to be again produced in the high pressure die castings. The entire assembly lines and multiple components will be replaced with one large die casting component with specialty properties with the help of robust design, cost effectiveness, and assembly weight savings, and integration of multiple parts and processes. So our way forward is a technology roadmap. I encourage all the industries to develop all the die casters in their own world. They should develop a technology roadmap to progress one step at a time in using these multiple castings technologies. Productivity and profitability has to be the focus. Unless we are profitable, we cannot sustain. That should be the key that we should always remember. I already explained how these processes can come together and integrate. Being global is another area. Indian die casting companies are now being recognized as the global footprint in the world. This is I'm very proud about our factory in United States. This was our dream. Our chairman had a vision, and we are fulfilling that by establishing. We have already done that. We are into the mass production in our factory in Charleston, South Carolina, in USA. And beautiful campus, state-of-the-art greenfield factory, producing state-of-the-art, highly automated complex die castings in United States. And finally, I would like to come to the Mother Earth and nature. These are the United Nations 17 goals for transforming our world. Sustainable development is the key. There are many aspects, and you all are aware of TVS Group's contribution in CSR with Srinivasan Services Trust on the goals like no poverty, women empowerment, gender equality, education, healthcare. However, from the industry side, we should all contribute to the goals like sustain cities, responsible consumption and production. Few examples of that we must, which I'm sure many of you are already worked on, rooftop solar power. One thing I would like to mention about the sand reclamation plants. We are taking out the sands from the different places, river beds and whatnot, and we are using them and consuming them in our casting processes. Please make sure that you put some money aside for sand reclamation, so we don't dump the burned sand 100% into the quarries and be the burden on one side on mining and other side in quarries on the environment. Reuse of existing housings or the repackaging using the recyclable packaging, those are recirculable packaging, those are the keys. I am very proud to be part of the organization. TVS Motors has recently joined sustainability initiatives at United Nations Global Compact, first two-wheeler in India to join that. We have to contribute, we have to commit ourselves for the mother nature, and we have to, as an industry, be responsible partners in making sure that we are green and we are ensuring the earth is protected while we are enjoying the businesses. To summarize, I would like to show you this picture of eagle. As you all know, eagle goes through a phase in life there where it has to decide whether they will survive or they will perish. For survival, it's a very difficult process wherein they have to cut their beaks, they have to tame their claws, and they have to even work on their feathers. But when they come out, they soar high. They have a completely new life. And taking that eagle in mind, I would like to mention this mantra of e-connectivity, e-mobility, automate, be agile, green, go green, L for light, be light, and be lean, and E for be employee centric, be engaged to customers and employees. With that, I rest my keynote address today. Again, I would like to profoundly thank my management, Dr. Venu Srinivasan, Dr. Lakshmi Venu, for their continuous guidance, and thank all of you, the industry leaders, for taking Indian aluminum die casting to the new heights in the coming world. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Vivek, for your insightful keynote address. Thank you so much for sparing your valuable time for us and making it to the inaugural of ALUCAST 2021.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen,